Alright. Many Magic players ask the question, Jeff, is my clunky mid-range deck playable? Often, these Magic the Gathering players are disappointed by the results. So we're trying another Abzan variation here today. We've got 4 Hero of the Precinct One here, which could be reasonable. We've played a, what's it called? We've played a 5-color hero deck that has some parallels to this that felt very reasonable. I've made some changes from the original submission to make it a little bit, hopefully, better positioned from the original card. So I added a bunch of Knight of Autumns from the original submitter just because this card's super reasonable, kills fires, kills oven, gains you life against aggro, stuff like that. See some folks in chat commenting about no general. Yeah, maybe we're supposed to do that. I don't know, though. Like, general's not very good, except exactly when we have hero. And when we have hero, we probably should be doing okay, or the deck's not worth playing. I don't know. So, like, for people that haven't seen, something that I'm going to be drawing a lot of parallels to with this deck today is this Jagniv deck is one that's up on my website that's felt very reasonable. It's Hero of the Precinct One. So I'm interested to see how this feels with less, what's it called? With less, without the blue cards. No dire taxes, 75. We only have 8 humans in the deck list. So it's probably, I think 8's a little on the low side for leveraging dire tactics. I think you probably want somewhere in like the 10 to 14 range at a minimum. How do you set which badges are shown? You have to click chat settings and then click switch to non-mod settings. Oh, you don't have a mod thing anyways yet. Click the gear on the desktop. You'll have a settings option. Alright, well, let's keep pool 5. Bottom this, bottom this. Hey, The Flash, thanks for the quarter of a year. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. Joke's on you. I didn't want that spell anyways. Whenever I hear people complain about companions being too good because they give you an extra card in your starting hand, I can't help but kind of laugh because this is a card that exists. And, like, this card is so much better than any of the companions. It's kind of unreal. Let me update the Stream Decker. It's like, provides way more card advantage than any of the companions do on average. And it's so weird to me that players gravitate towards just disliking companions because they're new. When there's so many other things out there that do very similar things. Our opponent not even doing any of those really big go over the top things that we talked about previously, but still just generating a lot more value than we are. Like, Uro and Hydroid Craces are both more raw card advantage than any individual card in our deck can put together, which means we have to take kind of an aggressive role to have a chance to win a matchup like this, and our deck's just not particularly well suited to win to take an aggressive role, I don't think. You can't interact with it before it hits the battlefield. Well, I'm going to give you a timeout because you've forgotten that counterspells exist. So you think about what you said. You can let us know when you come back in 10 minutes why it was wrong. I mean, you can't discard spell the companions, but yeah, you can counterspell them.
Every story is an opportunity for new data.
Super dead. Guess we bring in Kaya because she fights their graveyard. We'll cut the oaths because they don't really kill anything meaningful that they have. Yeah, Vraska's probably good. Kills Uro and Krasis. Let's try this. This mythic. I will have you know, Matthew, that I finished in the top 165 players on the Mythic ladder. Top 165. Magic is a true skill game. I don't know. I think people saying Hero's not playable should go back and watch the Niv deck that I talked and compared to at the start of the set. If you haven't watched it, it's one of the standard decks up on my website, and I think it's very reasonable. Plays Hero, leverages Hero well. That deck just has Niv at the top end as a card to leverage in a go over the top manner. I'd also like the record to reflect that we hit top 165 playing 100% viewer submitted deck lists. Just to get our flex on. I don't believe you. Next thing is you'll tell me you did it without companion. No, the final deck we played did have a companion. Our final run was with a 4-color fire. So thank you, chat. I wouldn't be here without you and your wonderful deck submissions. Are you implying that our expertly crafted garbage isn't the cream of the crop? That is in fact, I don't believe in implying things. That's what I'm telling you point blank. My hard stuck gold buddy hit diamond with the Niv deck. Sweet. Yeah, like I said, I think it's super real. It's very, very reasonable. That's just a bunch of magic cards I can never beat, huh? Excited to try. His animation is so good. Him and the general both have just excellent animations. Hey, we are platinum. Thank you very much, Matthew. If you'd please. I am a platinum Magic the Gathering player. Platinum 4. Listen, I've spent more time on the Platinum 4 rank floor than many people. The Platinum 4 rank floor and I are intimately familiar with each other. Land. Papi! You love to see it, chat. You love to see it. Let's destroy those two. We get to draw a card because there's a bounty counter on it. Mick Biggins, thanks for the third of a year. Welcome back. Platinum RPGs, thanks for the 2/3 of a year. You are platinum. Wait, did they just fetch a non-black land? I wonder if they don't have a swamp in their deck. They gotta have a swamp, right? We don't sack the token upticking, right? Nah, probably gonna sack a land this time. We'll see what we draw, though. Yeah, def gonna sack a land. Yeah, I want all the tokens so that way her ult is threatening. Oh! Vraska punching the clock and going to work. All right, Cavalier of Thorns. Probably want these Desparks. Probably want Despark for Cavalier. What do I want to trip? It also is third Nissa. Yeah, that's true. What do I get rid of? Yeah, Polyk. Let's get rid of the Polyks and put the third questing beast back in. It's a little more aggressive. I like it. Alright, you're on 2. Let's do it. Should have submitted 61. If it works for Yorian, it can work for you. I believe, I believe, I believe. I think I'm actually supposed to do this on 2. This way I can take an Uro before it gets down. Huh? I think that's right. You ready for a slog, chat? The cycling deck is a delight, to be fair, DMS. To be fair, it is a delight. Whee! Why aren't we playing Maelstrom Pulse? Asking the real questions. Well, you can go to jeffhoagland.com and you can click Hoaglandia opens from the main menu navigation. Then you can scroll down a little bit to the last open results. And you'll see all of the wonderful deck lists there. I think I want to Despark Nissa rather than trophy her because we know they have casualties and they might not have more lands. Well, so something you need to know that's incredibly silly is that the cards that have Godzilla arts, when you use the Godzilla art, you lose the animation for that card. Hopefully, this baits the Casualties of War, and then we can draw land and stick our Nissa. Yeah, getting rid of their Uro here is really good. Alright, fingers crossed they don't have another Casualties of War, and then this works just like we drew it up.
Be wary of the ground you walk on. Fight on without me.
Matthew, your prowess in observing matches of Magic and delivering commentary just keeps me coming back to your services again and again. I really must say I agree with you. That was an incredibly close game of Magic the Gathering. How many casualties did they had that game? Enough. Enough, chat. Chat, I think there's a very real chance that this deck doesn't last another 55 minutes until the announcement. There's a very real chance that I don't last that long. Yeah, we're gonna need a quick 180 here. This opponent's name is Team Scoop, but they're playing Kruga, so my body is ready to get fires. There's an announcement with something regarding Historic this afternoon. That's supposed to happen. It's supposed to happen in a little over an hour from now. This is one of the tough parts. This is one of the tough parts about keeping a deck list backlog like I do in my channel, is that like this deck and a number of the other decks, if you look at the dates when I accepted them, I like said yes I'd play this before the format shaped up, and then the format develops a little bit into lots of Fires and Yorion decks, and then a lot of these decks that I accepted just end up not looking competitive by the time we play them. Alright, we have Questerson here. Gosh, do I Questerson or do I kill the Fires? I probably kill the Fires, huh? Yeah, I agree. I agree. Mostly saying that for people watching who are wondering, like, why I agreed to play some of the decks that I'd agree to play. Try to keep my deck queue fairly full, and it's extra full around set releases. Animal Crackers in my up. Thank you for the... In my soup. Thank you for the Prime support. Lots of words in that username. And no camel casing.
It's only a matter of time.
Oh! I didn't realize he could put bounty counters on Planeswalkers. Learn something new every day. Thank you for the support, Bob. I appreciate you. We're gonna give this deck a fair shake. We're winning this one. We will definitely get Jeskai Ultimatum in the queue, though. Even if we don't do it today. If we don't do it today, it'll be tomorrow. I promise. The oligarchs have spoken. I'm just gonna Questerson and smack them here. If they want to eat my 2-1, they take 7 here down to 7. And if they trade, I get to draw a card because it's got a bounty counter on it. Alright, we're on the scoreboard, chat. We were able to interact with their copies of fires, and they didn't play big things in the same turn, and we were able to get out ahead there. The big thing that happened that game for us there was that they didn't have a sweeper, right? So not only were we able to interact with their fires, but they weren't able to clear our board but leading up into it. Vraska's not very good. I think this is enough ways to kill fires. I don't think I want Mythos here as well. I'm great by my stuff, and my stuff, I mean Oculus's stuff. I should check out some of the VR stuff at some point. I bet the kids would get a kick out of it. This is a mulligan here. I don't know. I guess if I draw a white source, the hand is quite good. Oh, that's YOLO. We're up a game. Huh? I'm just taking fires here. Could go either way. I feel like I should just take the fires, because if they draw another one, I want to be able to Knight of Autumn that right away, assuming we hit the white source. The 4-color fires deck is really good that won the open. They're not in stock, and I'm a millennial, so I'll forget in 10 minutes. I think I want to play a 4-3 here. I think getting this, like, I could Remorse into Questing Beast, but I think offering this trade first is ideal. The Triome just give you the finger. They all do kind of look like varying size mountains, huh? Okay. If they just want to sit here and play the waiting game, I think I'm okay with that. Although I guess they're going to Kruga next turn and draw a card off their Bone Crusher. No, Kruga only draws a card for each other. Does not just cantrip itself. They're never blocking there, so they could draw. Yeah, I didn't want to take 4 on the backswing. Oh, hammer. I wanted to block like I did there. Looking to draw land. Perfect. Okay. Our Casualties of War might pull us through here. This card's very reasonable, this matchup. Hey, Industrious. IQR is a sweet set. The jury's kind of still out on Standard. I'm not sure exactly where we're gonna fall. Feels like it could go either way. Is it Archer to triple casualties? It's looking like it. Not getting Aether Gusted there is a big win. Opponent can't have Aether Gust. Oh, yeah, that's true. They're playing Kruger, right? It's a good thing to point out. Was still a big win. You're right that they couldn't have it. Still great that it didn't happen. Mystic Dispute. Dispute's a card they could play. Could have gotten Dispute. I believe they had 3 mana up. Yeah, I agree. I think the core designs of Eldraine, Theros, and Ikoria are all very good. There aren't really... I think Embercleave is probably the only design that's currently legal that leaves a little bit to be desired from those sets that won't be leaving. Yeah. Yep. Excited to die to land Red Cavalier or Kenrith. That works too. Kind of a good example of the classic, you can have as much disruption as you want, but if you don't have a clock, it doesn't matter. Like, we had a ton of really good interaction that game, but I never put anything into play or kept anything in play that actually ended the game, so my opponent's deck had time to draw its powerful cards and draw out of it. The Red Bull event is up to almost 1,200 players signed up. I wonder how big that thing's gonna actually be. Yeah, like, that's I really hope that sends an incredibly strong message to Wizards of the Coast that they need to invest in regular, reoccurring arena tournaments. There is no reason other than a lack of software support. They need to prioritize it. They're leaving money on the table by not having a tournament system. If Arena was like Magic Online and had large open entry tournaments that you could join in client every weekend, they'd be a huge success. A huge success. Alright, so we're gonna take Sphinx here, and then we can Duress Teferi next turn. I would love if there were more historic tournaments, Coons. Is Red Bull going to do coverage? I have no idea. I mean, if they did do coverage, I would assume it would just be similar to the Channel Fireball coverage, where they're just, like, re-streaming people who are willing to stream it. Unless Wizard of the Coast plans to pump out a real spectator mode sometime in the short term. Alright, this is technically a redraw, I guess. Although we have to give them a red source to be able to cast this now, which feels bad. Yeah, that's why, like, one of the reasons why we edge out Channel Fireball's coverage in terms of raw numbers is their coverage is kind of rough. Like, they're doing the best with what they have, but, like, just rebroadcasting a limited selection of people willing to stream their matches really doesn't give them a good selection of stuff to work from, right? Yeah, I am happy that the Magic Fest Onlines exist as regular arena tournaments, but without a real spectator client and without making people stream to Discord like we do, they just can't have reasonable coverage. And again, just to make it clear, I understand they're doing the best with what they have. There's a reason why I have the requirements I have for the Hooglandia Opens, right? Am I dead next turn? I'm actually exactly dead. They play Kruga, they give him haste, and we're dead. Because Kenrith gives trample as well. Alright, I'm gonna give this one more shake. I like to give decks 3 tries before we strike them out, but I feel like that felt like a really good example of why decks like what we're playing just get incredibly outclassed by these Fire decks. And like, that opponent's deck wasn't even like the value-oriented Fire deck, right? And it still just ran us out of the park. Questing Beast needs more text, get it lifelink. So someone mutate onto this card, quick. Little Marduki on the other side of the table. Sorry about that. Looks like I got a little Marduki on my screen. I think I lead on this. Spot check for removal here. Duress, that's a good one to take. I'd rather take that than their spot removal. Some kind of red-black mid-range deck, just like value-oriented, perhaps. Maybe looks like got white mana too, so like actual like Mardu mid-range or something. I guess I lead on this, and if they murder us right or this, then Questing Beast can come down and smack them around. See that gorgeous animation, chat? Did you see that gorgeous animation? Beauteous. Pretty, pretty. They looked at the graveyard and saw the Othakaya, chat. They looked at the graveyard and saw the Othakaya. Thanks for the 28 months, DJ Jedi Jeff. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. Put an untapped land here. I get to pop Polukranos down. I guess we'll do this so we can smack them. Well, I guess this isn't even good, right? Like, it just comes back with flying. And think about that. Yeah, it's actually just not even good. Bring out Shadin. This is gonna fill up their bin for the Croxy here too. All right, glass half full. You get to be added the royalty tag on Discord. Of course you do, Fox. You even get access to the luxurious royal court. Thank you for all your absurd support here over the last couple months. Clack Bridge. I looked away for 30 seconds, and I turn back and I'm getting trolled. I didn't realize they gave Twitch chat a magic card. And if I kill it, it comes back? Alright, Polly K, I choose you. Afternoon, Chris. Alright, if they don't hit anything here, then they're probably gonna start scrying. Really? No scries. Interesting. They don't hit anything, Polly K can start eating these flying creatures at least. They are playing a Hushbringer deck. Okay. That's sweet. Oh, gosh. That's funny. So they get to sack it and then bring it back with flying? Wait. What do you want to bet? What do you want to bet that this is their first match with their deck? What do you want to bet that this is their first match with their deck? Oh, I shouldn't laugh, but I'm going to. I shouldn't, but I'm going to. I'm going to eat this. Because I would like to gain 3 life and draw a card. Oh, no! It denies me my bounty counters! Oh, no. Oh, it's all fun and games, chat, until your dice trigger is the one that gets denied. It's all fun and games until it's your trigger going wub, wub, wub. What a tilt. What a tilter. Man, do you think you could build a competent Magic player if you, like, combined myself with my opponent? Or is there just, like, no hope for either of us? Neither of us we just have no idea how these cards work. Not a clue. Yikes. This brings, lets them get Croxa into play here. Wait, if they escape Croxa, I don't have to discard a card? So that's good. I don't think this really matters, right? So many wubs. I thought you were playing dubstep, right? Alright, so I think Polyk is eating the rider this turn. So that way we can stop dying in the air. Thank you, Fox. We could have put a bounty counter. No, creatures and planeswalkers for the bounty counter.
I have come for vengeance and blood.
I'm excited that there are so many people excited for the historic announcement. Y'all are great. I'm glad that format's doing stuff for people. I really enjoy it. Hope we see some good things coming for it. So blocks like this, Polyk, eat Murderous Rider. If you're looking for a spot to do something with Chev, there's some of this card in the Niv Mizzet deck that's up on my website that I think's been very reasonable. You know, Fuji Blaze, I'm actually starting to come around to that. I've been a bit critical of that as an addition to Historic, but I honestly kind of think that, like, having Gruul be in the format to do that on occasion it probably does a lot of good for the format as a whole. I think you're right. Bob already hooked me up, Jameson. I don't know if I'm gonna play another deck after this one. We'll see. This match is gonna take a little bit, but if we finish this one and the announcement's not ready yet, I might just, like, hang out on stream with you all until it happens. Just chill. Will you ever be able to get those cards? Yeah, you can craft them just like anything else. So you can spend whatever wild cards their rarities are to get them. I don't think those cards do remotely the same thing, Draken. I have any build-arounds I can make on stream? No, chat, I don't want to do more actual work. I'll hang out and chat with you while I, like, format and publish my YouTube videos. It'll be cool. We can just hang out. I also don't think I have... No, that's a lie. I have... Nope. Oh, I forgot to post deck lists for the first 2 historic decks this morning. I'm so bad at this. I actually don't have any build-arounds coming up, which is nice. Get to chill for a little bit. I need to build Mardu Mutate in Historic at some point, but that's not for another day or two. I'm not a machine like Croaky's, chat. I have to like sleep and relax and chill. We've been live for almost 8 hours. It's pushing my limit. I'm an old man these days. It's the body. The body is weak, chat. The body is weak. You've been an old man for at least half a decade. That's true. That's true. So long as they don't announce a historic tournament on the same day that I've scheduled the next open, anything they can announce I'd be happy with. I would just prefer not to have an overlapping tournament on the same day that we already announced the thing. I think we just play hero here and then plan to poly-K next turn. How much are arena build-arounds? $25. In fact, arena build-arounds and general submissions are the same price right now. The deck queue's a little bit backed up, so the minimum submission is $25 until I work through my backlog a little bit. Historic is coming to MTGO. You heard it here first.
Through feud or feast, your blood is mine.
You feel the Triomes are a good craft for Historic? I do, DMS. I think the Triomes are super playable. In fact, one of my notes for after the stream today is, I definitely didn't, I think I forgot to add those to mana bases on my website. I'm going to go through the deck list there and add them where appropriate. Alright, so Goat plus Chev here. Questerson, Goat. Poly-K here. Throw a token away here. Trade a hero here. We'll have Polukranos eat the Hushbringer. They gain 1 billion life. How's that? Oh, because of Sorin? Sure. I mean, they're already at, like, close to infinite, right? Alright, simplify the board state, chat. Simplify your mind. Hey, Barry, thanks for the 2/3 of year. I appreciate it. I'm glad you like my process. We need Matt to give us 2 seconds. That's my favorite, just like jumping into boards and be like, Matt, dissect for us. Oh, this is real good. By real good, I mean real gross. Alright, so let's tag the Lurrus here. And then we can Vraska, kill the Lurrus, gain a little bit of life, draw a card.
Before I killed him, I've suffered worse.
How's this deck been so far? A little bit rough around the edges. We found someone playing an equally awkward mid-range deck though, so we might have a shot here.
Progeny.
Questing me says so many words. He has the best words, chat. This match is just gonna last until the announcement happens in 24 minutes. We're just gonna like have to concede this so we can watch it together. This is game 1, yep. I feel like we're ahead. It's close, though. What are clocks at? They're at 18 minutes. I'm at 19 minutes. It's just been like a genuinely long game one. Oh, you know what? I punted. I should have put the counter on here, right? Because they messed up. You just get to do this. I missed a card and 3 points of life here by not putting the counter on here. WotC's canceling paper magic due to the impact of corroded. All magic will be digital now. Maybe. I think there's definitely going to be some delays in paper magic. Like this delay with Ikoria is probably not the last delay for the next year. We have plenty of cards in the bin, so Polukranos is going to get to pop back up out of the underworld here in a second. Well, that's awkward. So, we do this. These all trade. I don't get to draw a card and gain 3 life because of Hushbringer. Next turn, Vraska's gonna get to eat something, and Polykay's gonna escape. I think not adjusting card text in Standard is good for the sake of keeping it the same as paper. I, however, would like to see the ban list be used. I feel like a lot of people think the ban list is a break glass in case of emergency type thing, when in reality, I think it should be used more aggressively. I think if Wizards was more aggressive about not only bannings but also unbannings, in my opinion, it would likely be better for the game. I would suspect, though, that the reason why that's not the case, why they're not more aggressive with it, is likely due to the financial impact on the paper side. And I would bet that part of the reason why we're going to see Historic get managed better is because there's no paper side finance component to consider with it. Yeah, in Arena, when you ban something in Historic, you're just like, alright, have a wild card. And like the logistics of giving people stuff when you ban stuff in paper is more complex. Man, Polukranos is really good when it's not getting bounced by Brazen Borrower and Teferi right away, huh? This card's like playable? When it's not just like getting unsummoned constantly? You know the card Inspiring Commander is not legal in Best of 3 Historic, but is legal in Best of 1? Really? That's weird. Kaya sounds great here. Night of Autumn seems real bad, right? They don't have any artifacts or enchantments. Despark hits Mothra, but that's about it. Mythos seems potentially very good. Destroying. I'm thinking I'm in for most of my Doomblades here. Are you saying Polukranos might be playable when Teferi rotates? It depends. Like, Brazen Borrower is still a card that'll see play. So it's not like a strict guarantee. Maybe I don't need this. I have plenty of other removal spells. No, I'm gonna run it. You gonna run it? Yeah, let's trim these and bring these in. Bring the curve down a little bit. Luca Zader, thanks for the 2/3 of a year. Welcome back. In. I would like to believe that Teferi Time Raveler will not be in the summer set, that they're smarter than that. I would like to think that they know better. That they know that would be a huge mistake. Huh. Alright, I think I want to wait and just Othakaya this, and I'm going to go ahead and Agonizing Remorse here. Yeah, I agree. I agree. The Chandra set had good Chandra designs in it. And I hope the Teferi set is the same. So probably shoot that this turn. Next turn we'll go tapped land, shoot the other, and then Vraska the turn after. Opponent's deck looking a lot more aggressive this game than it did last game. Last game we basically played a mid-range mirror, and this game they're bringing the beatdowns. You're miffed about uncounterable emblems on a plus loyalty ability. Peak Magic player is being upset about a card that's barely constructed playable. Peak Magic player is being upset about a card that's barely constructed playable. Stop it. Get some help. Playability does not dictate whether or not a design is good. That's fair. Counterpoint. I actually think the design of Chandra is good. And here's why I think the design of Chandra is good with her uncounterable plus Planeswalker activation. Games of flipping Magic need to end at some point. Your decks need to end the game. And playing a card and having a card design that punishes people who are explicitly looking to not end the game is good, in my opinion. But Jeff, it means I lose 20 turns after their 6 mana play, and that's unfair. Poor control players. Must be a little bit since we've restarted Arena, huh? I think I forgot to restart between the last 2 decks. How often do you have to restart? Usually I restart between every deck. Just because. I have a short break where I'm running an ad anyways, might as well. Sweet memes are made of these. Who am I to disagree? Travel the world and the 7 seas. Get memed on, chat. Get memed on. Yikes. Do I want some Desparks in my deck? Drag my curve down a scotch. They have Mothra too. Is there a playable questing beast deck in Standard? I believe there was a Gruul deck there was a Gruul Fires deck that top-8'd the last Magic Fest weekend, and there was a Gruul Adventures deck that went 5-2 in the last Hoaglandia Open. Those are the two places I'd recommend starting if you're looking to get your Gruul on in this format. M20 was pretty well, minus the protection stuff. I would like to remind you that Veil of Summer was printed at M20. I know that, like, you probably have, like, a mental block, because most of us do because of that card, but, like, just as a friendly reminder before you want to say everything was fine except for this. Yeah, the color hate cycle is a little pushed. Veil of Summer does not give protection. It gives hexproof. Checkmate. Actually, Magic players, you must concede to my superior intellect, actually. Wow, rude. This is brutal because it denies my life gain and card draw. Because Chev has to be on the battlefield for that to happen. It's not just tied to the bounty counter. If they have an untapped land, they get to Clackburl, they get to troll us next turn. Sick. They don't have the Twitch chat magic card. Sometimes I forget that Veil of Summer is an actual card that exists, like one they designed, tested, and thought was okay to print. Right? And then sometimes you gotta block things out, you know? The kids just ain't right. Alright, I think I'm gonna offer to trade Hero for their Sorin here, basically. Like, if they want to trade with my hero. So, like, either they go chump to save Sorin, or they could, like, trade and have Sorin still die. They could also just, like, let Sorin die and eat my 1/1 for free is another line here, too. Couple different directions they could take this turn. I don't think I'm going to play this land out. I boarded out my Casualties of War, so I think I'm just going to plan to cycle this. Magic Arena. Magic Arena. Have you seen what's going on in Michigan? I have not, Lurking Blade. What are the people with the Confederate flags doing now? Am I right? Is it the people with the Confederate flags again? Armed protesters have stormed the Capitol building with assault rifles. I don't. At least, okay, so like, to look at this as a glass half full type situation, one of the biggest upsides to come out of 2020 is that the previously thinly veiled racism and sexism that's always been present on the right is no longer thinly veiled. It's loud and it screams at you from the rooftops. You know, say what you will about the Trump presidency, but he's definitely said all of the previously quiet parts loud. Alright, we're super dead. Opponent's deck was sweet. Blackbridge Troll with Hushbringer messed us up. Our deck is rough. I think let's talk about and compare. I think I'm glad we played this. We got to see that last opponent's deck, who was really sweet. Just to compare, like, this deck we just played with, like, this one that we played that's felt reasonable. One, you know this one's probably better because it gets to play Teferi, and Teferi's great. Another thing that this build does that the straight Abzan build doesn't really get to do is having this kind of big card advantage at the top end that's also capable of closing games out felt really important. So, like, the Abzan build was playing specifically Nissa at the top end, and Nissa felt worse than this in a lot of situations. Like, this Niv was often drawing us multiple removal spells in this deck, on top of also getting a companion here. So I felt like what this Abzan deck was doing had some parallels to what the Niv deck was doing, but in general just a little bit more clunky in terms of, like, more expensive cards that had, like, worse impacts on average. Alright, that's going to be it for Magic gameplay for me today.